iron in their soul. What's up, YouTube? This is Iron and Soul, back today with another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about my content. In addition to that, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at TheKingJabez. It will be greatly appreciated. The title of tonight's video is The Demon Asherah is Someone You Know. The Demon Asherah is Someone You Know. So we're going to really go deep into this today, give a very solid historical, biblical teaching on the spirit, a figure in a lot of ancient history, and really just a spirit that plagued the ancient Hebrews throughout the Old Testament. And we're going to see today in this video how this spirit is manifesting all over the earth today through various women. And so this is someone you know. Do you know someone who is obsessed with the glorification of prostitution? Do you know someone who is obsessed with divination and witchcraft? Do you know someone who likes to undermine and to blaspheme the Most High by trying to make God like man? And when you meet people like this, who make songs, for example, entitled God is a Woman, you have to go back and study this spirit and see that there's nothing new under the sun, and how this can be helpful in you discerning the right woman from the wrong woman. Asherah was a female deity worshipped in ancient times, even today in our modern world. In fact, there are Asherah poles in cities here in America. You guys probably didn't know that. And so it's interesting that as old as this false teaching is, it is still relevant in 2023. So you think about Asherah poles and just their connection to trees. This is one reason why some of her places of worship were referred to as groves in the Old Testament, and they were told to tear those down. You know, think about, for example, Gideon. He was someone who woke up in the middle of the night and he was destroying these temples and groves. What was he doing? He was really destroying Asherah places of worship. So this is a very strong demon, okay, I want you to follow, that has tried to attach itself, get this, to the people of God for a long time. And the reason that that's so significant, I want you to understand, when you have a desire to have a purpose, that pleasure and temptation will be right there. I want you to get that. As sincere as you are. And this is why guys so often relapse on their journey. It's not that you're bad people. This is a very strong spirit of sensuality, right? And it manifests on social media. It manifests on these dating apps. It manifests in your everyday life and just the culture that's been created right before our eyes. You guys know what's happening out here. Asherah, one of her principles was ritualistic prostitution. And this was for the purpose of course, transferring spirits, pleasure, lust, and really just energizing those spirits of lust and perversion. And guys, this is happening right now. You guys see this. There is a glorification. There is this platforming of sensuality. You know, you can go to, casual glance at, and I gotta be careful trying to use my words carefully here, various social media platforms, okay? Whether it be IG, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, whatever. And you will pretty quickly run into a spirit of lust, a spirit of sensuality, and to a degree, ritualistic prostitution, to be honest. This is what some of these apps have become. No one's saying it, but that's what's happening right before our eyes. And all of this stuff you're seeing right now has its roots in this ancient female deity that always tried to attach itself to people of God and was successful. King Solomon, as wise as he was, one of his downfalls, as you guys know, you're intelligent, was his love for many women. Solomon had 700 wives, 300 side chicks. Okay, that was his issue. And By the way, I plan to revisit that topic on polygamy. I did a video on that, I think, a year or two ago for about 2 hours live. You guys enjoyed that. Got a lot of good feedback. Some didn't appreciate what I had to say, and I can understand that because you want to have 3 or 4 wives. But I'm going to revisit that topic. And, just even Solomon, how marrying some of these women who were involved in this type of religion, it really messed him up. And he got to a place where he had even had a place of worship for Asherah in the house of God. This is Solomon. He got involved in this. So this is a spirit that is as smart as you may be, as wise as you may be, as wise as Solomon was. You can never, get this, guys, you can never underestimate the power of lust, sensuality, and demonic energy that can surround women who are not following God. This is not an indictment against all women, but women who are open to this type of energy, their influence can get you. The best of them. Which is why I talk about the battle for lust for life. I'm giving you some real solid game. Why? I'm telling you the truth. So we have to be careful with this. This is something that even is in American culture. You guys probably not aware of this. You even have Asherah poles in modern day America. And these are like sacred trees, or were referred to in ancient times as groves. And this is why the ancient Hebrews were challenged or told to tear down the groves and high places. What was it referring to? It was referring to various idols, symbolisms that essentially were worship of demons. But because behind, this pole, the Asherah poles, and behind the temples and idols were very real unclean spirits. And this is something we see even today in the music industry. On a deeper level, this spirit is very strong in the industry. The spirit of lust, sensuality, promoting, soul ties and the transfer of spirits, ritualistic prostitution. I would go as far as say even human sacrifice, and various elements of this ancient teaching are so clearly manifesting today in what we refer to today as the secret society of music industry. And kind of a side note, some of you guys who want to be known, who want to be a part of this stuff, you need to really be careful what you join. Just joining some group of men and women for a position or for an opportunity or for status or wealth, you have to be careful that you don't give away your soul to something that is demonic and will hurt you in the long run. And so that being said, the influence of this demon is even seen today in our modern world. In fact, there are Asherah poles in certain cities in America. Okay, it's happening right now as we speak. This old demon is still manifesting today in 2023. And you probably know someone who has the spirit on them, who's worshiping the spirit and is manifesting the characteristics. So what are the characteristics? We talked about a few already. We talked about the glorification of prostitution, sexual sensuality. That's a huge problem today. I would go forward and say divination, fortune telling. You got a lot of these women right now. Everybody wants to be a psychic now. Everyone wants to be a medium. Everyone wants to be this prophetess. Right? Isn't that happening right now? You guys got social media. You see all these women with these doggone crystal balls in their bios and that little blue symbolism they all have. What are they trying to tell you guys? They give you a warning. They're telling you what they're doing. Okay? They're not just doing it just to have something in their bio. This is their way of life. They are practitioners of witchcraft. You need to understand that. Stop letting a pretty face fool you. Just because this woman looks good and has a pretty body, pretty face, nice body and whatnot, pretty body too, whatever, however you want to word that, whatever, you can get lost in all of that. And behind that beautiful face and that nice body is a person practicing witchcraft. I know you don't like this. Is a person who will have you messed up psychologically and spiritually. It's someone who is obsessed with profiting from sex. I said what I said. A person who is obsessed with profiting from her sexuality. Right? That is a modern day manifestation of Asherah, an ancient female goddess. Let me also put this out here as well as I'm teaching this. There's this false teaching that this spirit is the wife of God. Let's clarify that right now. Let's get that clear right now. First of all, marriage is an institution ordained by God temporarily while people on earth. Which is why we learned that in the eternal state, or our life after death, we'll be like the angels. And what does that mean? Angels are sexless. Angels don't have wives, and so they're not procreating. This is something that God's given us temporarily while we're on the earth. So to me, it's insane that someone would even think to teach something like this. It just blows my mind. Marriage was given to us for the purpose of, for one, companionship. Okay, it's not good for men to be alone. For enjoyment, to procreate, to continue the human species, right? And for various other reasons where we're given the institution of marriage. But once you die, that's over. Although I believe, from my belief system, I will understand and know who my wife is once I get to heaven. I do believe that. I think we'll meet everybody. It's eternal. So we'll meet everyone over and over and over again forever. So I'll know who she is, but my wife won't be my wife in heaven. You follow me? Once you leave this temporary experience we call life, that's over. You know what I mean? So to teach that is a gross misunderstanding. I'm gonna use some my words careful here. It is a false teaching. I will go even further and say it's a demonic teaching, because it's another attempt to make the Most High like us. Okay? God is not like us at all in terms of that. So let's get that clear. God does not have a wife. Asherah was not God's wife. That was never taught. In fact, the exact opposite was taught. They were taught to remove these type of worships from the place of God, house of God. These places of worship from God's house. That's what was taught. So when people say something like this, it tells me they didn't even read the Bible. Because we never see Asherah being referred to in the Old Testament as someone that the people of God should bow down to and worship. So if they're told to remove those places from the places of God, why in the world would God have her as his wife? Right? Make that make sense. I mean, especially when this female goddess represents everything God's against. I mean, look at this. God's against divination. Let's talk about it. Divination is something that has been forbidden by God for a long time. All the way back to the Torah, the book of Moses, the books that Moses wrote. All the way back to Deuteronomy 18, 10 through 12, if you want a reference. They were warned sternly to stay away from fortune telling. All these females right now online that want to give you the future and whatnot, don't listen to that stuff. You know, selling spells online. I'm seeing I got a phone like you got a phone. Selling spells online. Want to be fortune tellers, want to be psychics, want to be your prophet and speaking to your life. So the word divination simply means witchcraft. This female goddess is all about all this satanic witchcraft. And a lot of these women who are in the industry, they're practicing their witchcraft. You need to understand that. These people, in many cases, are practicing voodoo. They are involved in the occult, okay? Necromancy, communication with the dead. You understand? This stuff goes real deep. And it can be kind of traced back to this ancient female goddess, Asherah. So you know who she is. You've seen her through some of your favorite singers. I won't give any names, but you can figure it out. You guys are smart. Look at who's popular right now for females and tell me you don't see the spirit right there. That's all I gotta say. Look at your popular celebrities right now who are female. Okay, your R&B singers, your actresses in some cases. These girls online, these women online who got all these followers. What characteristics are they manifesting? As we study this ancient female goddess, tell me, answer the question for me, you guys are smart, are they manifesting this stuff? Yes or no? This is your big brother, I don't know what you're talking about. What am I talking about? Divination. Are they manifesting that? Are they glorifying prostitution? Is ritualistic prostitution becoming a part of everyday life? Is there a desire to emasculate the Most High? Right? All of these are pointing back to a very satanic agenda, and it manifests a lot in this ancient enemy of God. It's not a wife of God. This is the ancient enemy of God, to be honest. Demon that we refer to as Asherah. When we do this study on this female goddess, Asherah, it's of interest to know that Jezebel, the ancient witch. If you study this, Jezebel, she had over 400, get this guys, Asherah prophets and prophetess on her staff. So when she was the queen of Israel, she really pushed this teaching. That ought to tell you something right there. Jezebel herself, not the Jezebel spirit, but Jezebel herself, the woman Jezebel who was on the earth, when she was in power, she had over 400 people on her staff who were promoting, pushing, and teaching this occultic, satanic belief system. Right? Demonic. And she had temples for them, and she had people on staff. She was paying them very well, obviously. So that ought to tell you, so I'm giving you the history here. This is the type of religion that Jezebel liked. Okay? And if we're seeing it today, the same signs, what does that tell you? This stuff is all linked. Go back and listen to my messages on the Jezebel spirit and compare it to this message and compare it to my other messages about, battling lust for life. That's why I'm giving this so many layers, because I want you to understand how complex and how, what's the proper word here? Generational these type of things are. Though this may be new to you as a man in your 20s or 30s, I think it's of value for you to understand that these spirits and this type of life has been around for a long time. So as strong as you are, I'm giving you a warning. If you're not careful, this spirit can influence you and have you caught up in sexual soul ties. Let's just be real here today. Let's talk about as men. Have you caught up in lust? Have you in a corn addiction? I'm going to use the word corn. You know what that means? Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, guys. Let's be real. This is a real man conversation. Have you losing your seed and your strength and your life essence as a man? So this spirit is coming for your very life. Do you hear me? This is how serious is it. This is serious. This is serious, guys. This spirit is coming for your life, your purpose, attacking you. See, this is why you feel weak when you're around women like this. This is why you feel off if you've ever been on a corn site. Okay, if you've ever been there, you know how you feel after that. That guilt, that shame. I shouldn't have done that feeling. And when you're with the woman you shouldn't be with, and the pleasure is over and you look yourself in the mirror the next day. Why is that? Why does that bother you? Because you're understanding once the lust is over, once you had the little moment of thrill, the aftermath of that is shame, guilt, lack of focus, not really in game as you could be. These are the results of submitting to the spirit of lust, fornication, divination, fortune telling, soul ties, the whole nine. So what do we do? What do we do in going forward as I close this message today? What are the solutions? I would say protect yourself. We're taught to just really just get away from this type of stuff. Don't even play around with it because it'll get you. It's like quicksand. When you find yourself getting close to this energy, back away. Get off those apps, go to the gym, read, focus on work, find something to do to redirect the sexual energy. Okay? If you are in a relationship with a woman like this, who's practicing witchcraft, get away from her. I'm going to talk to you. I know you don't want to hear that. Cut it off. Okay, how good the sex is. Okay, how much you enjoy this relationship. She got them doggone crystal balls in her bio and them little blue balls and all that dumb stuff. And you following her and you want to be with her. Understand, you're playing with fire. Behind that nice body is a real spirit that's going to mess you up. You need to understand that. And did we just talk about this yesterday? Didn't I discover this yesterday? How death and destruction hide behind lust. So if you are in a relationship with a woman like this, cut it off. You're over at some woman's house and she's trying to put crystals on your forehead and whatnot. Don't let her do that. Be careful. You somewhere asleep, she's trying to chant over you and put some spells on you. Some of you guys think this is a game. It's not a game. It ain't a game to them. They serious about it. Okay? I think personally, and in my opinion, this is what's happening right now to a degree with Blueface and his girlfriend, Christine Rock. I wouldn't put it past her to be using witchcraft on Blueface. Anytime somebody got tattoos of your face all over their neck, and they that attached to you like that, cling you like that, that's a soul tie. She's like, she refuses to let that man go. It's like a real spirit right there next to that man. A real demon right there next to him every day. Okay? You know? And you can see Asherah right in Christine Rock. Some of these other women, they got these men right by the balls, literally. And it's sad. I'm not saying that to judge, like I'm better than anybody, but I see it with my own eyes, as your big brother. And it's just like, it's really sad to see so many young men, capable young men, strong young men, being controlled by these women like this. It's sad to see. And to a place where you can even tell that Blueface, he kind of tired of her. It's like he can't get out. You can tell he's tired of her. And some of you guys feel the same way. You with a woman, you tired. You know you tired of that woman. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you now. You tired of that woman, but for whatever reason, you can't get away from her. And part of it is that you love that sexual experience she gives you. Let's just talk as men. We men here. You know this iron, ain't it? Come on now. I believe in God. I'm still a man. I'm still a man. I get that. You like that sex. I'm gonna talk to you directly. And you are willing to deal with all of her crap because she is good in bed. And so that means you're willing, I know you don't like this, to open yourself up in your seed, in your generation, your next generation of children, grandchildren. You will open up yourself and your family and your seed to curses, into spells, into witchcraft and divination, all type of sorcery or whatnot. You're willing to be around that energy just because she gives you a good sexual experience. At the end of the day. Or maybe you have a woman like this that's beautiful and you feel like, you know what, I know she's not right, but there's no way I would get someone else this good looking ever again. Stop thinking that way. Stop thinking that way. Right? This is the games these women play with your mind. They have you thinking that they're the prize and you can never get anyone like them. And so now here you are now stuck with this woman who you really don't even like, to be honest. You just like the way she looks. If you're with a woman, guys, and you don't like them, you just like the way she looks, you ought to ask yourself why you're willing to tolerate that. And we kind of already given reason why, you enjoy the pleasure she gives. So, guys, I hope this was a helpful teaching. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this. This is your big brother, Iron and Soul. Thanks for listening. God bless. Peace.